Welcome to Thinking is Contagious, Inauguration Day. Um, like I said, I'm not watching it, even though it's kind of difficult not to. Watching the financial networks, and that's all that they're covering. So I stepped away from it, which is not my usual practice during the day, weekdays. But one, I do want to say a few things as Joe Biden and the future President Kamala Harris take office. I do want to say the following, that no matter what these politicians tell us today, and I'm talking about both sides, Republicans and Democrats, no matter what they tell us, we got to remember that this is their ceremony. This is their platform. This is their opinions. This is their position, and all this is for their benefit. It's not for ours. Okay? These people are happy today. They're in their glory today. They're unified today. Do you know why? Because they have regained control of the swamp. That is why. And control of the swamp means control of your dollars. Okay? When the platform today is attacking the virus and the terrible winter that we're facing, the COVID virus, mask mandates, ending systemic racism in the United States, which doesn't exist, okay? When those are the platforms and the mandates, you understand where all this is coming from. There is definitely a need. And I tell you now, I am in full support of a third party, a patriot party, whatever you want to call it. I am in full support. We need not vote for any of these politicians at this point. Now, having said all this, I do want to say this, that no matter what these politicians, these swamp dwellers write or say, these facts that I'm going to give you are irrefutable, okay? Donald Trump in his 4 years worked and obtained the release of 55 American hostages that had been held during the Bush and the Obama administration, with really giving up nothing, not negotiating with terrorists, and release of 55 Americans that are back in their homes today because of Donald Trump's relentless effort to bring them in. Something that he started on day one of his administration, okay? The border wall to secure America's border, southern border, is a huge accomplishment. If you don't believe me, look at the news. Look how many people, with Biden's announcement for 100 days not to deport anyone, look what's waiting to get into this country, illegal immigration-wise. And no matter what the left says, what the liberals say, what the Democrats say, or what the Republicans say, there's a bunch of criminals in there, and there's a bunch of people that don't belong in this country in there, okay? So they're waiting, and they're taking Biden at his word, and they're ready to storm the border, okay? Energy independence. Where were we 4 or 5 years ago as far as at the mercy of OPEC, at the mercy of the oil-producing nations? Today, we are energy independent. Biden will end that. He's already said he's going to end that, okay? Green energy, green energy, and fossil fuels are out, okay? Energy independence, Trump achieved it. That is a huge. What does that do for your pocketbook? Okay. Prison reform. Big talk by Obama about prison reform. Biden, who was one of the leaders in '94 of incarcerating minorities in this country. Trump accomplished prison reform to a level that no one has ever done this before. Fact. The Abraham Accord, okay? They said it was impossible to get anything in the Middle East. The moving of the embassy in Israel, moving it to Jerusalem. They said it was impossible to get any of this done. What has he done? He did the impossible. Just like the vaccine was impossible, according to the fraud Fauci, and according to all the experts and the people who took him to task, Trump, when he said that he would have a vaccine by November or December. They said it was impossible. They laughed at him. They ridiculed him. Okay? Vaccines. Not one, not two, three, okay? China trade, okay? China for how long? Since Biden and Obama, even before that, but especially put on steroids under Obama, Biden, was eating America's lunch on trade. What did Trump do? Stopped it, turned it around, stood firm, stood tall, and put an end to this runaway fraud that China was committing. From devaluing the currency to unfair trade practices, tariffs, and everything, Biden's going to turn that around. You know it because we know why. Okay? The Iran nuclear deal, without a doubt, one of the great decisions ever made by Trump, by any American, was to get out of the Iran nuclear deal. So much so that even now, Biden's people have said that there's no rush to get out of it. You know why? Because they can't say that they're not going to get out of it because it'll be egg on their face. They won't get out of the Iran nuclear deal because they know that what Trump did with the Iran nuclear deal was one of the most important decisions for the earth, for the world, for the earth. Okay? Who started Space Force? Donald Trump. Look at the runaway euphoria there is. Look at the future we've created, the jobs, the infrastructures, the economy that we've created with Space Force. A Donald Trump initiative. Okay, a Donald Trump initiative. Like when Kennedy said we'd have a man on the moon, Trump has taken that and now created a whole industry behind this. There are ETFs being formed. There's public companies going public, SPACs taking it. The Space Force. He rebuilt the military. It was in shambles under Obama. It was a disgrace. Okay? He rebuilt the military. The veterans, the VA, just took apart the VA, which was a waste of taxpayer dollars, inefficient, and hurting our veterans. Our veterans were unable to get any kind of medical attention that was worth anything. He took it and he corrected it, and he's put the VA back on a platform that our veterans are getting quality care for the most part. There's still some issues that need to be taken care of, but from where it was to where it is, a department that was totally ignored, the can kicked down the road, and Trump took it and said, I'm going to fix this for our veterans. And what did he do? He fixed it for our veterans. Okay? The reduction in taxes, record tax reduction, removal of regulation. Okay, just as important as tax cuts. Okay, is his cut of regulations to allow the economy. And there's one thing that never can be taken away from is the economy. And this economy that Joe Biden is stepping into is Donald Trump's economy. And the only reason that this economy slowed down at all was because the Democrats and some of the Republicans took the China virus, took the Kung flu, took the COVID, and created a weapon out of it, okay? And used it to bring Trump down to his knees by attacking him on his economy, because they knew that on the economy, it was bulletproof. Why? Because unlike the lies that you're being told today, that the economy only worked for the rich, no. The economy of Obama, Biden worked only for the rich. The economy of Trump worked for the rich, worked for the middle class, and worked for the poor. And you can look at unemployment, you can look at wage growth, you can look at home ownership, you can look at savings rates, you can look at GDP for minorities, all at record levels under Donald Trump. Can't take that away, can't change those facts, okay? Those are all facts, okay? Now we have this kumbaya and how united we are, and Biden talking about his church and God, and there's prayers all over his ceremony. Biden is an advocate of abortion, okay? I'm not going to go out there and tell you that this is an issue that I don't see all sides of the equation, and it's not an issue that, to me, I'm not open-minded on, in the sense of I respect people's opinion. I'm not. I don't agree with abortion. I think it is completely, it's murder in my book. But I'm not going to judge what other people decide as far as that's concerned. There's an ultimate judge on that. But he's a hypocrite. He was refused communion in his church because of his stance on abortion. Okay, so don't now all of a sudden bring your Catholicism and interject your prayers and your belief in God whenever you get a chance, you vote to allow for unborn babies to be killed and murdered. Okay, bull BS. Okay, what we're entering is an era of the swamp. Don't be fooled. Don't think that this is unity and I'm going to be the president for everyone and we're all going to get together. No, this is happiness and rejoicefulness. They were all celebrating the return of the swamp. It's up to us to stop the swamp. And the way we stop the swamp is with our dollars and with our vote. And it's up to us. Enough talk, enough what ifs, enough we'll talk about it later. No. There's 75 million people that are fed up with this. It's about time you get called out. We get called out. We get called out about where we spend our money, what we support, what we watch on TV, and who and what we vote for. It's up to us. Take charge and let's make this thing at the midterms. Let's send a statement. And we need to push for a third party. We need to push for a situation that we don't have to vote Democrat or Republican, because guess what? All that is one thing, and that is the great swamp. I hope you have listened to this. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you can circulate this and put this in front of people, because it seems 2 years a long ways off. 4 years seems a long way off. We got to start today, right now, okay, and end this. Because what you're seeing today on television is a celebration to rape, ravage, and pillage the taxpayer and use those very dollars for the benefit of the swamp dwellers, and the crumbs that fall off are used to buy the votes that they hope in 2024 will keep the swamp in power. That's what this is about, okay? Thank you.